All right, so about $33 billion in annual revenue is earned by bakeries across the United States just from selling cupcakes, which I thought was pretty interesting. That's not including the cookies or anything else. So I'm going to demonstrate to you guys how to make a cupcake. Like I said, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm using boxed product and stuff like that, but same general idea. So first I'm going to show you the ingredients and the supplies that you need to make it. Second, I will show you the steps that you need to do in order to put it together. And lastly, I will show you different ways that you can decorate the finished product. I am credible to give this speech because I've done extensive research and I make a lot of cupcakes, ask my roommate. So I will begin with the ingredients and supplies needed. Supplies, you're going to need a cupcake pan. You can do this with little cupcakes or big ones or even the giant ones. A mixing bowl, a measuring cup, whichever size. I prefer the smaller ones just because it's easier. A spatula. I like using an ice cream scoop. I feel like that's easier for me. And then the different supplies, the different ingredients, you're going to need water. This is vegetable oil. I already measured that. Eggs, and for this, the boxed mix. According to 3cooksisters.com, in order to make a boxed product taste more like it came from the bakery, you can add an extra egg, and instead of oil, you can use butter and then just double the quantity, and you can also use milk instead of water. Optional ingredients would be sprinkles and frosting and stuff like that in order to decorate it. Before you put all the ingredients together, you should turn the oven on to 350 in order to preheat it. So now that I've explained all the ingredients and stuff that you need, I will talk about what you need to do in order to make the cupcake. So this is all the way I do it. There's obviously different ways, but this is the way I found most effective. So I first start with the cake mix. I open it. Try not to get this everywhere. Sorry guys, you're not eating this one. Okay, so you open the bag and you pour it into the mixing bowl. And then I put in the vegetable oil, which is 1/3 of a cup. Like I said, I've already measured it. But 1/3 cup of oil. Make sure it's vegetable oil, not canola or anything like that, because it'll taste completely different. I've made that mistake and it did not work well. I then put in the water. You put 1 cup of water in, which you can measure. I prefer putting the water in after the oil because the water kind of gets some of the grittiness of the oil out of the measuring cup and gets all the rest of it in, so it's as moist as possible. Sorry to anyone who doesn't like that word. And then you do 3 eggs. According to WikiHow, the best way to ensure that no shells end up in the egg is to crack them into the measuring cup or a separate bowl. So if there is, you can peel them out before you get them in. So you just kind of crack it, put it in, and you repeat that for all 3 eggs. And once you crack those, you can put them in. And that's pretty much as easy as that gets. And then you just use your spatula and you mix it all together. You want to make sure that you mix it so that there's no powder left and as many as the chunks get out as you can, because no one wants a chunky cupcake. That's just gross. Okay, so after you mix all that together, you can take cupcake cups. I like doing them in the holiday or season that's coming up, so I chose to do Easter egglets. That's just my little thing. And you put 1 cup in each little hole. You can either do it until all the holes are filled up with multiple things, or as many as you need to have done. So after that, I use my ice cream scoop and I fill it about halfway, because this is a bigger one. If you had one of the smaller ones, you can fill it all the way. But I do it halfway, and then I just plop it right in there. It's still kind of gross because I don't really have time to fill it all the way. or to mix it all the way, but you don't want it to be too full because then it's gonna overdo and it's just gonna break and be gross, but that's what I do. And then after you fill them all up, you put them in the oven for about 20 minutes. Just make sure you keep checking them because every oven's different, and if you use this box compared to a different one, it might cook differently. So now that I've told you how to put all the ingredients together in order to make the cupcakes, I will tell you about different ways you can decorate them. Obviously frosting, some people don't like it though, so that's why I made it kind of optional. There are multiple different types of frosting. There's different types and also different flavors. Some of the flavors are just plain weird, but you can use whatever you want, and also you can use food coloring to change the color of the frosting. And also, in order to decorate, you can do multiple different decorations. You can use sprinkles, you can use, if you're good with, you know, cake decorating, you can use frosting. According to Howcast on YouTube.com, making a rose out of frosting actually isn't as hard as it may seem. It's actually a lot easier as long as you have the right equipment and patience. So in conclusion, the point of this speech was to demonstrate how to make cupcakes. I told you about the ingredients and supplies you need. Second, I talked about how to put them all together. And last, I talked about the different decorating ideas you can do. Just to leave you with a quote by Sarah Oakler, "I've never had a problem a proper cupcake couldn't fix." Thank you.